Breath of Fire 5 Dragon Quarter is the best game ever made. You can close the video. I've been getting so irritated for years at this point at the number of people who keep talking crap about Breath of Fire 5 Dragon Quarter. It doesn't make any sense to me. Over the last 15 years, the Gameosphere has declared that it loves randomized content. Look at the success of Binding of Isaac, Dead Cells, Hades, just to name a few prolific ones. This is a genre that's existed since Torneco's Mystery Dungeon on the Super Famicom in the mid-90s, but these days people are really into the roguelike style concept of video games. If you look at the speedrunning community, we have Legend of Zelda and Super Metroid that have been fused into a single game and randomized. You can find missile upgrade expansions while exploring Ganon's Tower in Link to the Past, and while you're playing Super Metroid in a place where maybe you would find a power bomb upgrade, well, here's the hook shot. So when you use the weird game swapping portal to play two games at the same time that are randomized their items between two entirely different games, maybe you get a clue that people really like randomized content. They're really into that sort of thing. You know what else is puke-worthy popular, in my opinion, is Dark Souls games, everything like that. I hate those games, and I've never even played one. And I don't hate them because I don't like playing them. I hate them because they interfered with the production time of a new Armored Core game. But lo, here is a game that combines all the favorite modern notions in gameplay concepts and systems that everyone loves in this current day and age. And it is called Breath of Fire 5 Dragon Quarter. It is literally a perfectly blended mastercraft, triple Michelin star chef created, beautiful amalgamation of everything that is great about video games. And it was on the PlayStation 2. And everyone talks crap about it. It is one of the most vocally reviled games that I have ever seen in my time on the internet, which is, well, I'm an internet denizen, I'm a weeb, all those kinds of things. And I have just never seen so much vitriol for what is, in my opinion, genuinely a good game. I've even heard arguments that say, Bokosuka Wars on the Famicom is a good game, and even upon listening to that person's opinion and reviewing the systems and what it was trying to become, I can see value in even that kind of game. But Dragon Quarter is just a good-ass game. Gameplay-wise, it uses my literal favorite gameplay mechanic system, and I've only ever played two games that use it. Sakura Taisen 3 on the Dreamcast, and Breath of Fire 5 Dragon Quarter. Use something called the PETS system. Dragon Quarter, imagine a strategy game, but instead of tiles or hexagons or anything like that, fundamentally every single, within the game's measurement context, every single 12 inches that you move will take 1 AP from your movement on your combat turn. A tier 1 attack is 10 AP, tier 2 is 20, and a tier 3 is 30. And you can chain these things together into combos, and you can also pass your turn to replenish your AP, stacking it on top of itself so that you can move in close to an enemy, pass your turn, wait for them to hit you a little bit, but then unleash a 15,000 hit combo AoE on everything that was stupid enough to come and face you in mortal martial melee combat. It's pretty sweet. Every RPG tries to archetype all of the different types of things you would typically see in an RPG. Dragon Quarter does this with a melee combative of Ryu, Nina, the magic mage caster, and then Ren or Lin, depending on if you want to pretend you're Japanese or not, I guess. She uses freaking guns. This is an RPG with guns. My favorite kind of RPG, honestly. Every RPG that I've loved more than anything, I've noticed it has swords and guns in it at the same time. They're always the best. Think about it. Think about every fantastic RPG. They always have swords and guns and magic. Everything at once. Breath of Fire 5, it was the major departure is that every other Breath of Fire game was like a fantasy game, right? It was just high fantasy, all that type of stuff, Lord of the Rings style, just fantasy. Breath of Fire 5 is when they were like, what if we added like both steampunk and cyberpunk elements to it at the same time, basically? Like the drudgery of the lower class of cyberpunk mixed with a steampunk vibe, and then put an entire society 2.5 miles underground in a place where the sky is considered a myth. That struck really hard with me, especially over the years, because I actually have some very bizarre psychological trauma. Is that I have to be able to look at the sky like once an hour at least, or I will start to go crazy, actually. I just need to be able to see the sky. Like, first thing when I wake up, I have to go outside and I look at the sky. Like, literally, I have to do it. It's a compulsive thing. Even if it's 4 in the morning, I don't care. I have to be able to look at the sky. When I played Dragon Age Origins, and you rescue the dwarf dude, and you first come out, and he's just like, he's afraid he's gonna fall into the sky. I have never felt more in my life like, wow, you're a stupid idiot piece of crap, you dumb stupid idiot dwarf. The sky is the most beautiful thing ever. Looking at it reminds you that you're free. And in the world of Dragon Quarter, the sky is a myth. People have lived underground for so long that they have painted the ceilings of their cavernous cities blue and cobalt, and spend what little electrical resources they have to illuminate that false sky, just to remind their children that the sky did in fact once exist, and we still believe it does, even though no one in the last couple generations has ever seen it. And what I love the most about this game, it isn't just the cool combat. It isn't, the tactical approach you can take outside of combat is like, throwing bait at enemies to lure them into one tight area, and then maybe throw 2 bombs on top of them, and then engage combat with Nina so that she gets turn priority, and then initiating combat with a couple fire AoEs to instantaneously detonate the bombs that all the enemies gathered around. Yeah, that's pretty sweet, actually. I love things like that. Or making Nina set up a couple magical trap glyphs in a tight corridor, and then using Ryu's alternative utility skill to kick enemies around the battlefield to reposition them, to knock them into those magically activating glyphs. Oh man, it's just beautifully designed combat. And one of the most fantastic things about this real-time turn-based weird combat is it's so unique to the PETS system. It does what only one game ever has truly done, and that is Chrono Trigger. And that is to allow you to fight enemies exactly where you encounter them. And it matters. Every single last inch, every single last step you take in this game matters very deeply. You have a dragon counter, the D counter, in the top right corner of your screen, and every 10 steps you take, it increments 0.01. When it reaches 100%, you have a game over, and when you have a game over in this game, it deletes your save file from your memory card. It deletes your save data. You died. you're gone. Your existence is erased. It is a brutally difficult game, especially because you can't even save whenever you want. You have to find save tokens, which are in randomly generated golden cardboard boxes. So maybe you'll get a couple extra saves this time through, but again, if you die, it's over. You can't even copy your data onto another memory card. I've never seen any other PlayStation 2 game that does not allow you to copy data from one memory card to another, but Dragon Quarter does not allow you to do so. It's just got every single thing going for it that everyone loves about video games today, but everyone just dumps on it, and I've finally come to a conclusion of why. Because no one can handle it. No one's actually finished this game. Everyone is a weenie. Everyone's a wuss. Everyone's a pansy, a sissy, a little princess pansy girl with their penis in a cage. Can't even handle playing a simple video game. An absolute wimp. That's all it is at this point. That's the only thing I can come to a conclusion to. When you have such a mastercraft game like this, that has one of the most satisfying stories that I have ever experienced in my life, and 98% of all people who have played it deride it and talk crap about it, I am left with no possible other conclusion that I can arrive at other than people are losers and couldn't actually finish this game. I think that's all it is. They couldn't handle playing what is otherwise one of the most difficult games genuinely ever made. It is intentionally designed to be unfair and against you. One of the main points of the game is you're intended to lose. By design, you are not meant to finish this game in every sense of the word. You're meant to replay the game because when you finish battles, you get experience points and party experience points, of all things. Party experience points is something that you can spend in the menu at any time. Let's say you're right before a boss, everyone's maybe 200 EXP from leveling up. Let's just spend 600 party EXP and give everyone a level up before we go in. Because you're going to replay this game. It's going to destroy you. It's going to beat you down. It's going to make you doubt yourself and question your ability as a video game player. That's the point. And then, at some point, you'll realize when is the best time to use the D-Dive ability. You allow Ryu to succumb to the dragon inside that wants to take over his body, and that's kind of the whole point. If the dragon reaches 100% sync with him, you die, and the game is over. Just remember I mentioned that thing goes up every 10 steps you take? Yeah, just simply activating the D-Dive knocks it up by 2 entire percent. 2,000 steps worth, instantly gone. Even when you're walking around towns and villages, it goes up. Every step you take in this game matters. It's just so incessantly dire all the time. But oh, the D-Dive. Of all the games I've played, nothing has ever been as satisfying as D-diving. Oh, this boss that is intentionally designed to make you use every single one of your healing items, all of your revival items, all of your stat boosting items, and make you drag the fight on for 30 horrible minutes. You can just turn into a dragon and just sit there charging up your Kaioken to ×8 and hit it with a twister for 6,000 damage when your regular attacks are doing like 30. You consume your own life force to obliterate your enemies. It is incredibly satisfying when you learn this is the time to use it. These crucial moments when this boss fight is getting a little too desperate, and if I die, my frickin' save file's gonna get erased. This is the moment where you just start cutting your own wrists and turning into an inhuman, demonstrative beast that is capable of ending the world or saving it. It's all what you want to do with it. It is the most horribly overpowered thing I've ever seen in any video game, but the consequences are pretty intense. You're putting your save file on the line to use it. Anyway, yeah, look, I just wanted to talk about my favorite game because I'm tired of people talking crap about it. Because that's all I see these days. People talking crap about Dragon Quarter so bad. Dragon Quarter's a piece of crap. No, it's not. You're all just losers who couldn't handle playing it. Don't listen to those people. Dragon Quarter is literally, in my opinion, the best game on the PlayStation 2. And if you don't at least try playing it for yourself, you're doing yourself a massive disservice. Especially, if you watch videos on this channel, you're into Final Fantasy XI, you can handle some pretty difficult stuff that expects a lot from you. Try out Dragon Quarter. For real, I think it's one of the best games ever freaking made. Anyway, thanks for your time. Appreciate you listening to my drunk rambling. And have a good one.